figured I'd go live. I might go live again tonight, but wanted to talk about maybe some Q&As. So I'm gonna let you guys ask some questions. There's so many things to talk about and cover. So this video is gonna be all about a little Q&A. So if anybody has questions in the chat, I'm gonna engage with you guys a little bit more. I'll read out the question out loud. So if you're watching the replay, welcome. And I'll make sure to replay it back what the question was and what my lens was. And that's what this thing is all about. It's what my lens is, how I portray things, the dots I've connected. There's so many little things that I like to do before I share, not like a disclaimer, but like as an awareness, as a, creating the energy and creating the space for information to be exchanged. Communication, just off the bat, I think is one of the most, not twisted, but distorted, very misleading, confusing part of our everyday life. We speak over 10,000 words a day for men, almost 20,000 for women, almost twice as much, and each word has such a profound impact on kind of way we live our life and the way that we perceive things and how we speak things into existence and create reality. So not to even go down that wormhole to start, but yeah, I would love to welcome everybody. Just wanted to do, like I said, a little Q&A, and the things that I share, again, is from my lens, what I perceive based on my life experience. I'm 31 years old. I feel like I'm 13. I feel inverted from the things I've done and, put in my body and created within myself and my thought process. Still transitioning from losing my father a few months ago, but the energy shift has been remarkable, as if, he's always here closer to me than ever. And that's been a beautiful gift and a blessing that's been occurring in my life. So let's see. What am I most excited about? First question. What am I most excited about going forward? Well, not even going forward, just right now. I guess the excitement of knowing that more and more people are coming back to the present moment in life, and that more and more people are embracing that other side of themselves that's always been there for a long time, and now they're recognizing it and they're seeing it. Excited for people to tap into more knowledge about themselves. I think that's so important, that we can unlearn and relearn about a lot of things in life, so to speak, a lot of things that the system has told us, but in reality, on my dashboard, 2222 miles. Oh, it's so good. I'm not going to show you, but confirmation. In our reality, and learning about ourselves is so important. So I think a lot of people waking up to learning about themselves, and that's exciting. So that's the zoom in lens, zoom out lens. Oh my goodness, I'm excited down the road, going forward. Declassification, disclosure, patents, cures, free energy. I'm living in that timeline. I'm going to keep saying it, speaking it, sharing it, manifesting it myself, because that's what I can control, part of this big plan, and so can you. And shoot, I might as well say that, then end of the world, apocalypse, new world order, all these other crazy black magic word spells that the more we say it and the more we put our energy behind it and more we're scared of it, well, that may manifest in people's realities, because there are multiple millions and millions of realities happening at once. Exactly right. Quantum physics, which is fascinating. So I guess that's what I'm really excited about, is people unlearning, relearning, learning about themselves, zoom in, and then relearning, unlearning, learning about, remembering, knowing, connecting, seeing, being, feeling, all the above about the external world, which is pretty remarkable in itself. So, yeah. Let's see, what else we got? Yeah, we are ready. Oh, the vaccination. So interesting. I haven't really covered too much on it. Just from all the different things that I've seen. Ooh, I got a loud ringing in the left ear. That's loud. Anybody else feeling those kind of shifts, these energetic shifts? You get like the chills, where you get cold all of a sudden. Your ear starts ringing, but now it's gone. It's like just that little change of frequency. But with the vaccinations and things, will there people be getting them? Yes and no. There's 7 billion people. Here's the thing, the people that may be getting them, here's what I think, they're going to be actually harmless. They're actually are not going to be, this is the timeline I'm living in, they're not going to actually be something that is harmful. Actually, I think it'll just be like salt water. to be honest, like a saline solution, and people start getting better mentally, and they realize they wake up the people of the power of thought. Imagine that. However, I see both sides, and I see people that could take them, and there could be harsh reactions, like maybe you see, and people get bad side effects. Will it be everybody? No. It will not be mandatory. It will not be. You cannot. Many reasons why. One of the biggest reasons why is the Second Amendment is still here. That was why a lot of shootings, if this triggers you or not, a lot of shootings have been staged because they wanted to create a fear about owning a gun, and they wanted to strip our guns and our rights from owning a firearm. So why? Not to protect us and no more mass shootings because they staged it, but because they wanted to be able to put you in a place of fear where you cannot protect yourself. And that's exactly it. So that's a big reason why the Second Amendment has not been abolished and has not been, so to speak, removed. And if it was to be removed, then mandatory evacuations could be done easier because no one can defend themselves. No one can defend themselves. It's so funny. I think someone just, oh, no, never mind. I thought that street said Marshall Street, and you guys just said martial law. Julie and I are heading down to our new space, by the way. Little fun fact. We're heading down to San Diego, so I'm excited. But I don't think there will be any mandatory vacuations, not evacuations, vaccinations. Vacations, if you guys saw my post, I'm all for mandatory vacations. But I don't think. So there's different sides of different realities. So you guys see how I zoom out and see all possibilities. But what am I manifesting? I'm manifesting the one that is no mandatory vaccines, and they're harmless, full of salt water. And people wake up to the power of thought, and they start healing their bodies, and they start healing from, whatever virus, illness, flu, cold, anything faster than ever because they believe in it. That's like the placebo effect, so to speak. So that's what my 2 cents on that. Good question. What other questions? Woke up with extreme vertigo. Am I anticipating martial law? Yes. Yes, I actually am. But here's the thing. A lot of people, when they think that, they think, oh my gosh, here they come. They're going to get us. They're going to take us to these camps and this. No, it's, again, I'm living on a different timeline based on what I've seen, read, connected for 3 years, the last 3 years and more. That martial law that will happen, first of all, it'll be announced. You'll get a 3-day heads up if you didn't know that. It's not like all of a sudden your phone shuts off and the lights go out and you have to be at home. It's a 3-day heads up so people can start getting their things in order. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, this. But it is smart right now just to make your home sustainable. And that's another topic I'm going to be sharing, is how to create and I'm not saying sustainable is you have to go garden in your backyard, but little things in your home, like your water source, just, little machines, like different things to make your home a place where you could stay if needed, but you don't need to worry about it, if that makes sense. There's no fear. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's more so to keep the other side of things, which is like these riot groups, the Antifa and all these groups, from going and causing havoc because of the stuff that's about to be shared and about what the election is about to flip, and just a lot, just a loaded question. So that will happen, I feel, and I believe, and I've seen to be taking place, and to be taking place in a safe and swift way where no issues. It'll just be exposed for people to see. You'll see all these groups that are actually not here for Biden, and they're not supporting, you can look at the group Black Lives Matters were supporting Biden. Biden hasn't reached out to them in almost a month. There's no interest because it wasn't about that. It was about deeper stuff. So martial law, there'll be groups that'll be trying to initiate things. And I think with the National Guard and everything, again, it's not to come after you. It's just keep people safe. Just keep people safe because you're about to expose to the world the corruption at the highest levels, the government, political, Senate, Congress, all the way down to your everyday Hollywood celebrities. They're all in the same club. It's a fractal of bad fractals, right? We talk about light working and sharing fractals and all these amazing things, but this is a fractal that is not good. It is not good at all. But it's coming to light and it's getting exposed. Some people still think we're on that fractal, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. What will happen with the election? When is this happening? So one thing you want to always remind yourself, this is what I do for myself, is even when I say predictions, I have no idea. Nobody has any idea. God has an idea. Energy in the moment, because God is energy in the moment. And if you stay in the moment, you can be God. Not that you are God, but God is within you. Just trying to make that clear. And things start happening. And things start happening sooner than you think. Collectively, as enough people get in that 0 point, so to speak, and that's why I think December 21st, for those of you who know that's going on that day, why that's going to be such a powerful day, because I think it's going to bring everybody to the present moment. Plain and simple. That's the flash. There's no flash of I personally don't think there's going to be a flash outside, and if it is outside, it's because there's a flash inside. But when you come to the present moment, you drop into your heart space, and that's 0 point energy, and that's free energy. So you don't eat as much, you don't need as much as you think, you don't give your power away, you build energy, you get into the right brain, and you remember how powerful you are. Oh, take that and share that. So that was great. Maybe that a code from my father to everybody watching this. So to answer again, when is this all happening? It happens when more and more people come back to the present moment, and then it'll manifest, and then it becomes, that's again how I interpret things. So those that saying even December 21st, I'm not even all the way in of that day is going to be a day where this will happen for sure. Who's to say it happens the next day? But here's the thing, enough people are thinking about it, so something will manifest, because enough people, that date specifically in linear context is a date that most people know and think to be true. So yeah, there's my answer on that. Thoughts on jumping to parallel universes? Well, I before you do that, I would just say change your water. Baby steps. I love the ambition. I don't know. I haven't really jumped universes really quick. That maybe what you're asking. It sounds fascinating. Maybe I go there mentally, maybe in meditation, so I get that. But I would just say, yeah, look at what water you're drinking. And that's, side note, the water you drink is so important because most water people don't drink. People drink, they don't absorb. So if you have trouble absorbing information right now, if you're having trouble absorbing new downloads, you might be dehydrated. Just a little tip. Now, depending on what you drink, it's going to either help hydration or not help it. So just try to stay away from sugary drinks, soda drinks, bottled water, just common sense. But even filtered, purified water, it's good because it's filtered, but it still lacks life force. It lacks structure, no minerals, which are bioconductors of electromagnetic frequencies that go through your body. For those that are trying to really do that inner work or doing that inner work and knowing how to do it, it's a little difficult when dehydrated. So if there's one thing you guys can look into and start kind of trying to tap into, hydration for sure. And that probably will unlock a lot of things in your DNA, because if you did not know, your DNA is actually housed in hydrogen. Nice. Housed in hydrogen. That's a good way to explain your DNA. Housed in hydrogen, it sits in hydrogen. So when you're dehydrated and when you lack hydrogen in your body, in your system, which is the most bioavailable molecule, so to speak. Guy crossing the street. Confirmation. Guy crossing the street. Most bioavailable, your DNA starts to hold better, and it starts to get a little bit more structured. And now your DNA can activate, if you guys did not know that. Pretty fascinating, right? So hydration is so key. Didn't mean to go on that water tangent, but maybe you guys want me to do a live on water. That might be a good one. I just got to the gas station. See, a few more questions, and I got to jump off here. Let's see. Please save this. I'll post this right after. Absolutely. Yeah, homeostasis. Exactly. Yeah, fear mode. If you are in fear mode or know somebody who is, I think one thing that can help is Send them little things, ask them questions, and send them little things if they're open to it about how to transmute fear. Send them a playlist of sound healing. Say if they're interested in listening to music that could relax them. Simple stuff. You don't have to say sound healing, 400 hertz, 432 hertz, taking you back to past traumas. They won't want to say yes, but if you just let them know, hey, this might help. Just felt called to share. Do you mind if I share? There you go. Sound healing. So there's a lot of modalities. I think somebody said CBD and cannabis. Great medicine, CBD and cannabis, anything from the cannabis plant. I mean, if you zoom out big picture, all the plant medicines that are suppressed today are so powerful, and they're inverted to street drugs, to different hallucinogens that are laced and cut. Then you have cigarettes. I mean, even cigars, like all of these things. But yeah, any plant medicine, I'm all for. Buy a diffuser and lavender, exactly. More science about the water. Well, I mean, it is fascinating what water does at the cellular level. That's another thing. You can research that. Dr. Masaru Emoto, he researched how water changes, how water shifts, and how our thoughts and our words change the structure of water, which you've probably seen before, but yet a lot of us still, how do I word it? We're aware of it, but we need to start taking little action steps to change it, which is, again, why I share what I share, and when our way community shares what we share. It's powerful when you do start unlocking these things within yourself with a hydrated lens. Because if you think about your brain too, your brain cavity, remember the world in itself is in your mind. You project it out. So there is a dome, an atlas, right, above your mind. That's the firmament and everything inside. So what happens is your earth starts getting dehydrated. Well, why are we 70% water and the earth's 70% water? And our blood veins and the same minerals in the blood are similar to the same minerals in the ocean. Really, the water in the planet that is dirty and polluted and with trash and plastic, chemicals and acids, it's the same water that's in us, just a zoomed in lens. So for those that want to clean the oceans and help the waters of the world, the way that manifests, and here's what I'm getting, the way that manifests is simply by us cleaning our oceans internally. You never looked at it that way. And cleaning our oceans internally, cleaning your rivers, your blood veins. Right? You've got veins that look like rivers. Look under the microscope. It's fascinating. Most people are mineral depletion. So sea moss is huge. I take Aussie trace minerals, immortal minerals, magnesium, potassium, cell salts. So important. And most of the diet and most of the food, even healthy supplements, they lack those minerals that are ionic, bioavailable, easier to absorb. And again, it all takes place in this game of life of the ocean and the ecosystem of the ocean. So look what's in the ocean. You have life force, you have electrons, you have salts, you have minerals, you have structure, you have lightning that hits the ocean thousands of times a day to give it that electronic charge, electromagnetic property. How come there's not many big technologies using salt water? And yet, as soon as they make something with salt water, what happens? Well, that patent all of a sudden disappears and that company goes bankrupt. Or their owners disappear because those are the patents that are being kept. So as we clean our waters, to tie it together, as we clean our waters, we are probably going to clean the ocean's waters because we'll become more conscious and aware internally. We'll be cleaning out our vessel, which then will give us a clear mind, not brain fog, but a clear vision, kind of like a lighthouse. You light people up, and then you start seeing the world in a different way. All of a sudden, when you see the world in a different way, what manifests? You start changing reality in itself, quantum universe. And so you start changing reality in itself. Now, patents start getting released, truth starts getting dropped, and it's happening this year. That's what's been happening in 2020. And you start seeing things in a different lens, things start manifesting, and all these conspiracies are actually becoming true. All these, hidden agendas are not hidden anymore. Why? Because enough people are actually seeing them as not hidden and not a secret. Whether they believe it or not, their subconscious heard it. And that's why the power of planting seeds is so powerful, So balancing the water within you will clean the waters without. Minerals, so here are the properties, ready? Microclustered structured water, full of abundant of minerals and life force in the form of electrons and molecular hydrogen, added trace minerals, Aussie trace minerals, and immortal minerals is what I put in there. And then I'll put in some key lime and lemon, and that's like an elixir of just straight, oh my goodness. That's like the liquid holy grail. That's kind of what I drink daily, that kind of process. So it is very powerful. Filters as well, everything's out of it, but it's full of all that. A lot of people filter their water, but it's full of nothing, which seems like that makes sense because water doesn't look like anything and water is shapeless, formless, but there is a lot of life in it. In fact, it holds memory. It can remember the shape of the bottle that it was in. It can remember the ship that it was sailing on to get to your shelf. It remembers all that. And you can actually, well, most people think that's crazy, but that's where I'll let you kind of go down that wormhole. So the water holds memory, but filtering it is not where it ends. It's where it starts. Filtering is a must, getting all the nasty chemicals. But here's the thing, you can even filter it. Here's what people forget. The vibration is still left in the water. This turns it into a water flow. The vibration of the contaminant most likely is still left in the water. If you want to go into the quantum physics world, if you want to go into the spectrum where we can't see with our eyes, but probably know with our intuition and our heart and our feelings and science that's coming out, that's been suppressed, you start seeing it from a different lens. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, the filtration process, although it cleans the vibration of the minerals, of the contaminants, are still present. So the water becomes unstructured. And that was fascinating. That was fascinating when I found that out. I think it was like the other year. And I went down that wormhole and started researching, a lot. And it became evident. And so when the water gets unstructured, it gets chaotic, and then we absorb it, and then our system gets unstructured because you're 70% water. So your system is water. Now, most of your water is at the cellular level, over 50%. That's proven. And if the water at the cellular level is all unstructured from the filtration, even if it's filtered, remember, the fluorides and all those things can be filtered out. They can be. But the vibration of it is still remaining. All right, the vibration of it is still there. So the vibration of it is causing a break in the bonds in water. You just can't see it with your eyes, but it's in there. And what happens is this break, it needs to be restructured. And that's where electromagnetism, just like the lightning, constantly restructures the planet's oceans for life, like whales to live, thousands of sea creatures, more life under the ocean than on planet Earth. That ionization, that electrolysis process is just what nature does. Except now you can have it all the time after you filter it, everything, because now the RO and distillers, they're great and they're amazing and they take everything out. Yes. But what about the unstructured water? And what about the lack of life force, minerals, electrons, enzymes, like the natural salts, sodium, magnesium? I don't know. That's just how I look at water. So all for it. Just don't get stuck there and keep going. And you'd be surprised those other avenues that you could put literally in an elixir that will help. Maybe you understand this video. So hopefully that was helpful and that was fun. But let's see. We'll do one more question. Let's see. Blue bottle, exactly. Aqua True, yeah. Reverse osmosis is great. Like I said, there's more to it. So you could do the RO system, and then the water, the Congo water that I drink right after, awesome. That's probably like the holy grail of it all too. Super clean, filtered, fresh, minerals back in, boom, boom, boom. Very exactly. Put crystals in your water. Yeah, you could charge your water with crystals. Absolutely. You mentioned in the sustainability, you're going to make useful machines for good water at home. Yeah, the Congo machines. That's my number one. Frozen 2, amazing. All right. Take breaks, absolutely. All right, last one. Advice for someone wanting to heal and begin inner work, and being nervous that inner work would take away their focus and energy putting into their business. Yeah, well, I think just learn how to find that balance. Find the balance of masculine and feminine. So here's a great lens that I kind of take in my work day, because I do spend a lot of hours with my community, with my online business, with my home-based business, investments, all these other amazing things I get to do as an entrepreneur. Blessed to be able to create that. The masculine call to action, business building, great. The feminine is the receiving inner work, rest and recover. So it's not about trying to do this or that. It's how to bridge the gap and find that dance of what are you doing per day that you're actually creating action in your life, going to meetings, creating content, exercising, making calls, building a business, if it's a 9-to-5, online business, like actions. Feminine, meditation, slow down. Even I got to work on balancing on days, because I sometimes you balance, you slow down, you go ground, unplug from the phone, reading helps me a lot, kind of shift brain hemispheres, write, journal, staying hydrated, doing that kind of inner work, definitely will balance out the masculine side of things. So hopefully that was helpful. And all right, I got to get going because I think Joe's waiting at the house. I'm going to post this video. You guys can share it. Went from Q&A to a little bit about water and a little bit of everything else. So thank you guys. We'll see you next time. I might do a live later tonight, but stay tuned. I got podcast, website, I got a lot coming. There's a lot's happening. What is within is without. Light them up. See you guys later.